On both sides of the road, weeds were growing, but the environments couldn't have been more different. One side had plenty of water and was well irrigated. The other side was scorched by the blazing sun, dry and unbearable. One dandelion was on the verge of dying from the heat. Luckily, a bit of mist drifting over from the other side gave it just enough moisture to barely survive. Looking back, it saw its fellow plants falling one by one, and its heart was filled with sorrow. It waved its leaves, trying to encourage everyone to keep going. But deep down, it knew this dry land held no hope for new life. As it looked across at the lush green paradise on the other side, an idea began to form: leave this place and make it to the other side. With great determination, it struggled to pull itself out of the cracked earth. The ground was so hard that, in its desperation, it even wrapped its own leaves around its stem to gain leverage. The will to live gave it strength, and somehow, it actually pulled itself free from the soil. Looking at its thin roots, it stood up, thinking success was near. But as soon as it took its first step, the scorching concrete burned its tender feet. Still, staring ahead at the land full of hope, it knew there was no turning back. So it gritted its teeth, endured the pain, and started crawling forward. That's when it realized how much farther away that paradise really was. It felt like it had been crawling forever, always believing it was close, yet still only halfway there. In the face of nature, it was so small. The sun wouldn't stop shining just because of one little weed. The dandelion's body slowly dried up, and it collapsed again and again, but it never gave up. Even when it was burning from the heat, it kept crawling toward the other side. After what felt like an eternity, a few drops of water suddenly fell on it. Just one step away from the green land, it finally lost all strength and collapsed for good. Everyone thought that was the end of the story. But in its final moments, with its last ounce of strength, it opened its arms wide and threw all its seeds onto the fertile land across. You see, it had known all along the risks. It had known it might die on the way. But it wanted its children to have a better life, one without suffering under the burning sun and endless drought. When the sun rose again, those seeds began to sprout. From the very beginning, they grew in a land of comfort and opportunity. They carried their parents' hope, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the blessing of rain, never having to endure the harsh conditions their parent once faced. The sprinklers became witnesses to this new life, proof that every generation does everything it can, so the next can rise higher. And that is the meaning of legacy.